You're going to hear a lot over the next few weeks about the Keystone Pipeline, an idea that most Republicans just love and most Democrats hate. Now, before we get into the controversy, let me show you what we're talking about. The Keystone Pipeline is an oil pipeline that runs from the crude oil fields in Alberta, Canada, to refineries in Illinois and along the Texas Gulf Coast. Part of the pipeline is already finished, the part that runs to the refinery in Illinois. The real controversy is something called Keystone XL. It's really a second pipeline that takes the crude oil from Alberta to the Gulf Coast so it can be transported around the world. Republicans argue that the Keystone XL project will create jobs, and that's true. The State Department estimates that 42,000 jobs could be created in construction of the pipeline and at the refineries and distribution centers. And when you pump that many jobs and money into an area, well, it helps the restaurants and the hotels, well, everything in the towns and the communities surrounding the pipeline. And that's the problem. You see, Keystone XL, the part of the project that still has to be constructed, runs through Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and then Texas. They're all very much red states. There's not one Democratic senator in those states. All 12 are Republicans. So there's no compelling reason for Democrats to vote for the Keystone Pipeline because it won't bring any jobs to their states and it won't bring in 1 red cent in campaign contributions. But there's one big reason for them to vote against it. Tom Steyer, a multi-billionaire hedge fund manager from San Francisco who hates the Keystone Pipeline and gave $20 million to Democrats who promised to vote against it. Steyer's an environmentalist whose main issue is climate change and cutting down on fossil fuels. Now, there's no question that Republicans have the votes in Congress to pass Keystone XL, but Steyer has purchased a trump card. President Barack Obama promised Steyer that he would veto the Keystone Pipeline legislation if it ever reached his desk. And in the last couple of weeks, the White House has promised to do just that. Here's the irony. Stopping the Keystone XL pipeline is not going to stop Canadian oil from being refined, sold, or used. It's just going to happen somewhere else around the world. So it's really not going to stop climate change. And so tens of thousands of people won't get high-paying jobs because of one man. And that's not the way democracy is supposed to work. But it is the way our country works. I just wanted you to know that over the next few weeks, you're going to hear a lot about the environment and jobs as the Keystone Pipeline is debated, passed, and then vetoed. But that's not what it's really about. It's about politics and it's about money. And that's what really fuels our country. I'm Larry Mendte. See you next week.